Accessible, attainable equity for the minority high school age female is extremely important. There are plenty of ways to support this, but today I want to focus on how the education system and jobs can support this. Now, I chose to speak about these two because to me, this is where minority high school age females spend most of their time. And these two places have a major impact on them. It's important for these places to provide accessible and attainable equity for minority high school age females. Why? For the purpose of providing a quality competitive education, giving them a chance at becoming a sharp businesswoman or career woman after high school. Being a minority already has its barriers and challenges, so it is crucial for those who have the most access and influence on the high school age female to do their part and provide the attainable equity needed for them to be successful. Now, providing accessible and attainable equity for those females also includes taking a look at the diversity and inclusion plan to be sure that all minority females are being serviced. In the school system, this doesn't just include serving those on the general education pathway, but the ones on the essentials and alternative pathway. This also includes supporting the incarcerated high school age female, the immigrant, the LGBTQ, the minority high school age teen, who is in foster care, the one with disabilities, and the ones living in poverty or experiencing homelessness. Now, this will require administrators to review the diversity, equity, and inclusion plan to serve those minority female teens in high school. The world is swiftly changing, and trends are quickly changing, and school systems that fail to adhere, adjust, and adapt risk falling behind the mark in many ways, which essentially means they risk failing. Now, there has been an economic boom, and it has brought numerous opportunities to many Americans, but yet it has also left many behind. Education is what helps pave the way and help open the doors and opportunities. History teaches us that education paves the way to upward mobility. But now that the world is swiftly changing, these things are on a greater scale. These things are vital for the future of this country and world. Now, let's get even more specific for what's needed in the educational school system. Barriers for number one. They need to be removed. More access to resources that are crucial to navigating early adulthood. Parents and students are often unaware of the resources, programs, and benefits available to them and for them. But then, that's not the only issue. They also have a hard time obtaining those things due to affordability and things such as not having reliable transportation. Having these barriers removed and creating more accessible and attainable resources give those minority teen females a chance at a greater and well-rounded, successful life and a competitive career. Now, what do these resources look like for them? One, providing strategic career guidance for them by teaching them about career finances, teaching them how to read a pay stub. All those things fall into career finances. Understanding their taxes, how to take calculated risks financially, such as home buying, credit cards, and car buying, and overall financial literacy. These things are crucial for minority teen females because they will soon become adults who will possibly be faced with financial challenges if not properly prepared. They already feel like they're behind the mark because they're a minority. So this is why it's important for us to provide them with the equity needed to give them a fair chance and be able to compete in this world, and not just in the educational school system. They will become those adults who need a car and somewhere to live, and possibly a credit card soon, all shortly after high school. Now this then leads to them being trapped in a bad car loan, and they begin swimming in debt early. I think most Americans know how that goes. Car loan debt is some of the easiest debt to get into. African American women typically hold the highest amount of debt, and I'm not talking about the good debt, but the bad debt, such as high interest rates, car loans. So what else do providing resources look like for them? Providing them with extra support for their core classes, providing them with medical support such as mental health services, making it attainable and accessible to them, giving it to them on a regular basis, not just here and there, monthly check-ins, but on the regular, providing them with transition support and not just allowing them to graduate high school with absolutely no plan, especially those on alternative pathway and essential pathway. They are just as important. Failing to plan is planning to fail. But school is more than standardized tests or learning about algebra or socializing. School is a gateway to prepare for the life ahead of you. These are the things that help close gaps and give them a chance to compete for things on a fair level in education and society. These companies are eager, and I mean eager, to hire into the workforce after high school immediately. And the education system has the ability to provide these minority teen females with the high-level skills that is required to have them hired immediately. This helps lead to great success for the individual and for society. When we provide accessible, attainable equity, we support the growth and empowerment of these minority female teens, which raises the quality of life for everyone. So now that we've talked about what providing these resources look like, let's discuss what the success look like broken down when providing accessible, attainable equity for minority high school age females. They gain polished leadership skills. They learn how to face unique challenges. They foster self-decision making skills. They increase their chances of getting ahead, and they learn personal development skills. Providing this equity isn't just about helping them make more money in the world, but instilling them with those key and crucial things I named. Those are things that carry them throughout life, which in turn helps them actually make more money because it helps them create their own pathway and or secure a great paying career in the workforce. So what about the ones who work a lot, or the ones who work a lot to take care of a family and don't have time for extra things, or the ones who want to run to the workforce immediately after high school? Now this is where jobs can step up to the plate and help remove those barriers as well. This requires jobs that hire at 15 to take a deep look into their equity plan as well. Being able to provide that equity to the extent the company allows is extremely important and key. Providing that training and professional development for not only career development, but personal development. So you're probably wondering, what does professional development look like for them? This professional development should include interpersonal and organizational professionalism and development, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and teamwork and leadership. So yes, diversity, equity, and inclusion, I agree, should be included. They must be educated on it. But it doesn't end there. Providing these females with financial assistance for continual education to advance their career is important as well. These are the things that help close gaps and give them a chance to compete for things on a fair level in not only education, but society. Teaching and providing these things will not only shape and mold them for the workplace and the world, but it will help them become better leaders of tomorrow. It will help give them a sense of belonging, make them feel like they matter, give them a chance at a quality of life while decreasing the chances of them becoming another statistic in some sort of way. Think of those kids who are experiencing homelessness or on the verge of dropping out, and they have to work every single day to take care of their siblings, themselves, or even their child or children. What about the ones being raised by grandparents, or the ones with no parents and no families to help them? This is why jobs who hire at 15 in high schools, students should have an equity standard and address the critical economic, social, and global issues that are connected to equity in minority high school age females. When school systems and jobs that hire at 15 embrace equity as a core value and use it to shape policy and practice, we'll begin to see progress towards goals in our community, socially, economically, and globally. As an educator and businesswoman, I have been long committed to diversity and recognize the barriers faced by women and other minorities. In response to this commitment, I remain steadfast and intentional that my organizations and businesses center people and their experiences first. Diversity, equity, and inclusion are at the core of how I lead and empire, and this commitment is unwavering across all ventures. I am committed to continuous learning and acknowledging impact and taking a solutions-based approach to systematic inequities girls and women interact with daily. I believe in fostering the kind of culture that is inclusive, as it is essential in achieving deconstructing historical inequities marginalized communities face daily. So yes, providing these minority high school female-aged teenagers with equity is very, very important to not only them in their education, but to society as a whole.